Welcome back, kindergartners. I went through and collected a whole bunch of things for us to have some fun with today. So what we're doing in class is I'm having students go around to different stations and experience different ways of creating a painting rather than using just a paintbrush. So for sure, a lot of artists paint, using paintbrushes, but nowadays artists are using a lot more of a variety of tools, and that it kind of started to come into being around the time that Jackson Pollock, or that Action Jackson, was starting to use things like sticks and using brushes in different ways, and scraping or sliding or splattering his paintings. And so it's just great to explore those new ideas. So we're doing 4 different layers of an activity on here, and you can do anything you want at home. You could do stamping like we're going to be doing, or marble rolling, but I just wanted to show you 4 ideas that we're using at home. Basically, I just have paint, and then I found some objects around that I wanted to be using. So the first thing that I'm going to use today is actually a string that I'm going to dip inside of a container that has paint in it, but the paint in the container is a little bit watered down. It's not really thick, so the string can actually kind of stick to it a bit. It's a tempera paint though, and what I'm going to do is do some string drawing. So I just dipped my string inside of the paint, and now I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to lay it across my paper any way I want to, and then I'm going to do a slide or a drag. So I have kind of a bold stroke on there that I couldn't get with a paintbrush. I can't get that same look with a paintbrush, but I can with a string. And then you can slide it and experiment with that. Sometimes I like to have these little pointy marks, and sometimes I like to have these drags that kind of remind me of like maybe hair or something. And I like the way that it kind of goes across the paper. I like that they're big, bold shapes of this pretty blue color that I have, pulling this way, and that feels kind of balanced now. So one thing that Jackson Pollock did super well with his artwork is that he balanced it out. It wasn't just blobs of clay over here and blobs of clay over there. He used a variety of textures and lines in order to create a balanced piece. So there's the first example. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some dotting. So I'm taking a Q-tip, and you can take any kind of round tool like the end of a pencil or an eraser or something like that, and I just wanted to get a couple of different colors of paint, and I want to do some dotting, and I just want these to be small on my piece, so very light marks compared to these huge, heavy, bold marks that I have on here. These are almost like, right now they look like leprechaun footprints, which is kind of making me laugh. I'll go a little yellow over here. Uh-oh, it reminds me of the Green Bay Packers, but because I'm a Packer fan, yes, sorry, I'm a Packer fan, I love it. So that's what it reminds me of right now. Leprechauns and Packer fans. That's funny. Keep on going. Every time I do this, it reminds me of something different. And maybe I'd even want to add some more. Notice that Mrs. Samala isn't concentrating just on one area. Even as I'm filling in with my yellow, I'm deciding to move around to different areas. So my eye moves around the painting too. If I only had yellow just blotted down in one area, my eye would go to that yellow and not get moving around. And you want your viewer's eyes to move around the painting. I might make a thicker path on here even with that. Yeah, that's feeling good. Okay, and maybe I'll go back now and add a little bit more green too. I think I like that heavy polka dot idea. And maybe these paths will come together or not. I have to decide as I work. I'm working very quickly here, by the way, because I'm doing a demonstration. So honestly, I would have layered a lot more lines, maybe using a different colors. I think I want to put down more polka dots too, but I want you to be able to work and not just watch me all day. So I'm just going to show you the first layers, I guess, of what I would usually do. The next thing I'm going to do is my marble rolling, I think. No, I'm going to do my stamping next. So what I found was some bubble wrap in the classroom. I love popping bubble wrap, but I didn't pop it this time. It's all bubbly. And I just put a piece of tape on one end so I could sort of grab it and have it work out easier. And what I'm going to do is lightly dip into my puddles of paint here and then tap it off so it's not big globs of paint. And then I'm going to go ahead and create some tap, tap, tapping on my artwork. I want that pink to stand out. You could do this with any objects that you have in your house. Mrs. Samla loves to go to the recycle bin. Bottoms of water bottles are super fun because they have kind of like their bottoms kind of look like a flower. You could use sides of like soup cans or something, because soup cans have often lines on it. They're not always smooth. Ooh, that's feeling kind of fun. I'm liking that feeling. And I kind of like how that blue is left a little bit untouched. Again, I could stamp more, but for the interest of working, I'm going to stop and let you experiment on your own. And then this is one of my favorite and most satisfying ones. I'm taking a marble that has been dipped into some blue paint. I'm going to do a little splash over there, and I'm going to do a second marble over here. So I just had some marbles laying around the classroom, and I put some paint on there and a little bit of water in there, and now I can do some marble rolling. A lot of the kindergartners were loving that. Personally, when I'm all done with my marble rolling, my favorite thing is the box. It looks so beautiful. Now, I have a lot of white paper showing. My marbles are dry, so I'll dip them back in here. I have a lot of white paper showing, and to be honest, I would like it more if there was less white paper showing and more color. So I would challenge you with every layer to continue filling up your paper a little bit more than what I did in order to get that feeling of painting everywhere. Jackson Pollock was a really thick painter, and this one looks kind of thin. I do have an example that I did before last year, and this was on a smaller piece of paper. So I'm liking this one. I just felt like it filled up the page a lot more, and it felt like there's so much more action in here. The first step I would do is find a box and then cut a piece of paper that fits the box. So then you can just contain all your mess in here, because this can be a really messy assignment. If we happen to have a nice day, you could always go outside too and use paint if you wanted to. Have a great time, kindergartners. Bye.